me. You crown me. You crown me.
Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is season 3, episode 2.
I said episode 15, but from
Oh,
inception,
for everything.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I've been keeping count.
Oh, well done, well done, well done. Guys, we would like to just say, please remember to like, subscribe,
Comment.
follow us. Oh, follow on Instagram. Comment and share this episode, actually, if you think there's somebody that you know that can relate to it or anything. Yeah, guys, it's all about spreading the word. Are you okay?
This episode was brought to you by...
Yes, guys, Butomi Simulations. I'd be so proud. Okay, shall we get right into it?
No, let's jump in. Yeah, welcome everyone. Those of you who have never really watched us,
Yes.
welcome. New viewer. And those of you guys who have been following us
Welcome
for the
back.
other 14 episodes, welcome back. And we're back.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's get into it. What's our topic today, babe?
Okay, so this week's topic is actually inspired, and this is the thing. I think you know what? We've lost and found so many friends since shooting our YouTube channel there. So I just need to put a disclaimer there, that it was inspired by like our surrounding fellow couples, ne? So it's very broad, but I would like to title it Compromise.
Okay.
So, yeah, we hear about compromise. Compromise this and whatnot. Hey, I don't like the spoon there, put it there. Toilet seat.
Mayonnaise.
Yes, mayonnaise. Toilet seat up, down, cupboards closed, opened. All of that, I understand all of that. But I wanted to talk about what compromise means to you as a partner, kind of a situation. Because I've got like a whole lot of things going on in my mind based on some of the encounters we've had, obviously, with our fellow couples.
Okay, continue taking us.
Okay, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So we touched on it obviously in the last episode, in terms of, you know, the whole trends thing and what am I bringing out of my partner and whatnot. And we briefly touched on the whole compromise thing. I think once it comes to, yes, now we've been together for so long, does the same compromise that we did right in the beginning of our relationship still mean the same now? Because now we're no longer just talking about the toilet seat, for example. I've now gotten used to it. We're no longer talking about the snoring. I've gotten used to it. In fact, I want the snoring.
Why do you want the snoring?
Because it makes me feel like you're sleeping. And then we no longer talk about the dishes and all of that. But now we're starting to talk about family gatherings.
Okay.
I don't feel like going to this family gathering.
Okay.
And you like, but I don't want to pitch by myself.
Right.
How do we compromise?
What's the compromise?
No, this is exactly what I'm saying. Am I now expected to suck it up?
Yeah.
Is that what you see? That's what I want us to talk about.
Suck it up.
Am I expected to now suck it up because that means you are expecting me to compromise like that?
Yes. It's just for that brief moment or for that small day.
Okay, but then what's your barter? What are you coming to the table, to the party with?
Whatever comes to the table and it's my turn to compromise.
You see, this is why this conversation needed to happen.
What's my compromise, girl?
No, I feel like, and you don't even realize that you've been doing extremely well. Like there'll be those things and I'm like, I'm really not up for it. But you'll be like, okay, listen, you do soft me up a little, kind of a situation.
Yeah, I bribe you.
Soft. I do get a little bribed, kind of a situation. However, now let's talk about a deeper picture, very close to home.
Painted.
Very, very close to home. I'm now your partner and, oh gosh, I don't even know how to touch on it. We're married now, kind of a situation. And now we know we've had our issues with my in-laws. I know we keep going back there again. But was there ever a time where you thought you needed to compromise your family to make me happy. Your family's rules. Really?
Look, there was a time where I was caught, not necessarily
Yes.
compromised, but I was caught in between.
Yes.
Where it's like, okay, how do I navigate
Okay.
here?
Okay.
And you obviously then there'll be whole, I must cleave to my wife, but
Oh, yeah.
at the same time,
You better cleave.
you know, you come from here, you know, it becomes very difficult and puts you in a very taxing position.
Yes.
Where you don't know what to do. Sometimes you just want to say, can't you just get along?
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
and yeah, but now, yeah, how did we come around that?
Wait, I want to get to the part where you compromised to make me happy.
Yeah, so there'll be times where obviously I would want to attend something.
Okay.
And then, but because you're like, I'm not up for it, I'm not ready for it, then I'd be like, okay, I'll chill. But deep inside, I wanted to go.
Okay. So you set aside and you put aside a few family
you
memories.
You sacrifice and you say, no, it's fine, it's cool, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a fair compromise though at the time, but anyway, that's not the point.
Yeah, I guess. Look,
The reason to why I'm asking is that obviously we've got a similar situation very close to home. And now I'm asking, how far are we expecting our partners to compromise themselves, their beliefs, everything? Because as you grow, like, it's no longer just the toilet seat. It's a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
It's location to live. Hey, now you want to transfer somewhere and I want to, like, how far do we go that route?
In terms of compromise.
Yes. Do you get where I'm coming from though?
Yeah, but there's certain discussions where you should know. For example, I wouldn't compromise relocating knowing or without us having a discussion.
Oh yes, of course we're going to have a discussion, but there's always going to be like there's usually a back and forth. Example, that other situation. Couple we've recently met, they own a 2-bedroom apartment. They bought it, very newlyweds and all of that, but it just wasn't good enough for the wife. And so the husband kind of compromised the fact that it was very close to work. Apparently it's walking distance. And the wife was just like, well, she wants a bigger space. And like, listen, I don't know her reasons for wanting that bigger space or anything like that. But that guy compromised and so they moved, kind of a situation. And my thing is like, what's fair enough for a compromise? Do you get where I'm coming from?
Okay.
I always want to know the reasons.
I mean, you know, like you say with that guy, yeah?
Yeah.
Like they say, happy wife, happy life. I get. So a lot of the times we end up compromising as guys over you guys as ladies.
I'm okay.
Ah.
Okay, it's fine. Debatable.
Okay, fine. Let me say there's
debatable.
There's less argument with us as opposed to you.
Which is true. And I think today, the reason why I even brought up this topic is because I was actually very touched by that whole situation.
Okay.
And I was like, as women, like, what are we pushing? What are we pushing our partners to be doing? Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, if I can just snap my fingers and not consider costs, consider location, and say I just want to
me.
Yes, but this is my thing. We're following what social media is saying. We're following what my friends are doing. What's the latest trend? It's like it's driving me crazy. We can be aligned, but I could also just be in a situation where I'm sitting on social media and I misinterpret something being a vision and a dream and a next step for us as, this is where I should be.
But
do you get where I'm coming from with this?
But now, isn't that a discussion?
There's always a discussion, but the compromise is where that I want us to get to the thing.
So get me to understand what you are looking for.
What my reasons are for wanting to move.
Yes, and then understand, is it okay with me? Because I can say, okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, but are you going to be happy?
Okay.
You know what I mean? doesn't make sense. Am I gonna be happy
Okay.
with whatever changes?
Because you feel like if
do?
I'm not happy, you're not going to be happy.
No, but besides that, will I also be happy within those changes? Am I being considered in all of that too?
We're on the same page.
But that's what I'm saying.
We really are on the same page because there's something. Oh, guys, it's so.
Compromise, I feel like, comes with a level of consideration.
Oh yes, definitely.
You know, there has to be. Okay, cool. Consider me with 1, 2, 3. But for example, if you're saying you touched on the moving thing.
Yeah.
Hey, this is closer to work. I'm going, it saves on my pocket.
Yes.
That's a reason.
Yeah.
You know, because it's closer to work, so I'm not spending on fuel as much. As guys, we're very practical. Like, if it's gonna save on my pocket, sure.
Yeah.
If it makes sense, it's close to the shops, sure. It's close to school, sure. You know what I mean? Make it make sense, and that's how we operate. But if you're gonna go with something that's like very, and
but like with
I
this
don't say
instance,
unrealistic, but
this instance, I find it to be very unrealistic. We wanted to move because
if it's out of competition,
because social media said this is the kind of apartment I should have been in.
But you see, it's
what are we doing?
What's the thing, man? You're not running your own race.
Yes, I completely agree.
Run your own race because everyone's timing is different. You know, like you've heard stories of you can have a CEO at 25.
Oh yeah.
And he could pass away at 30.
Yeah.
And you get a person who's worked for 50 years and becomes a CEO at 50. You know, kind of a thing. So everyone's timing is different. So I'm not gonna try and compete with your timing
with the next person.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
And that, you see, now that kind of gets to even scripture and there's so many things about timing.
You are here with the Bible.
Of course.
Thank you for my hair.
It's your hair.
It's a little blonde.
Well, I'm joking. With the timing now. Yeah, I'll even take it to Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. You know? There's plans. He's got plans for us in general. Mm-hmm. And it's about listening. And I mean, there's so many scriptures related to timing. Mm-hmm. To say, hey, wait for your time. Like, there's premature things that you can do. And I've picked that up too, where you do things prematurely and it's like, hey, but we weren't ready for that. You know, it wasn't our time for certain growth. Like you can come through with certain growth, and if you get it prematurely and you haven't gone through the lesson, it can destabilize you because your foundation isn't there and you haven't learned the lessons that you needed to learn within that foundation. So there's a whole lot of things, like with each level comes new demons. Yes. So if you want to shoot straight up there and you haven't learned the lessons, it's going to rock you. And it's going to rock the marriage. And then you're going to say, now you're going to be asking yourself, what's the compromise? When you should have been learning those steps early on.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It starts as small things. I mean, now we can sit down and you can go to me, hey, I can come to you and say, there's 1, 2, 3 kind of a gathering. We spoke about gatherings.
Yes.
You know, it can be taxing at times. Because for you, as
I'm in the
kitchen. Wife, you're grinding, you're working 24/7, and it's work. And with the lives that we live, it's busy. But we're in a space where I can sit down and go, take a step back, you know, and I can easily come through and protect you and say, no, guys, it's
okay. So you feel like
but we've also gone through the steps, and the process around it. So it's also falling in love with that. But if you want to rush time, because I feel like compromise is just with each step and each journey, especially in marriage, you learning to take on the loads and the different things. But if you're gonna you want to be here at a Toyota Tez and you want to jump straight to a Rolls Royce, even those installments will trouble.
Listen, I think let's not we're not missing the lesson, but you did ask how did we get past the whole.
Yes.
How did we get past this thing? Actually, when you were speaking, it actually reminded me of our spiritual parents. I will never forget speaking to our spiritual mom, and she was basically in a nutshell going, you gotta choose your battles.
Yes, absolutely.
You really just need to choose your battles. You can't just
want to fight everything.
Every single
That's
thing. One thing has to be worth going that route kind of a situation. And now, in all honesty, I enjoy going to my in-laws and being in the kitchen and cooking and doing. I actually really enjoy it. But like the pushback of the fact that I'm just going to fight every single little thing was just not going to happen. Like, and you know, she obviously went further knowing our life and our story, gave full on, you know, details of the advice of, okay, if this was said to you, follow that, but take this away and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. And what I'm saying is that this day and age, like we were touching on it the other day, where young people, and I don't know if it's like a celebrity thing, hey, where young people, young couples are just getting divorced. Like, and it's like a congratulations thing. It's like, oh, everyone is so proud and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. And then I ended up like asking myself, what is the situation? Now, could it have been a situation where someone could have compromised one time and it didn't have to go that far? Do you get where I'm coming from? For example,
so it's like, how far do you take it though?
Yes, but the thing is, to my fellow sisters, guys, sorry, I am team you, but there has to come a situation where, oh, how do I put it without offending anyone? It's not just Bogoto, I'm independent. And guys, we have taken what Beyonce has said in the music way too far. Just saying.
Yeah, but does she take her own music seriously?
Wait, we're not talking about Beyonce.
No, but I'm going to ask, does she take her own music seriously?
We're not going to talk about Beyonce.
Okay, fine.
But you see, this was like my concern. It genuinely was my concern. And I asked like some friends and I asked around and I was like, what is it? Like, what is it about? And someone said it's like, the response was like, women these days are just like, at any inconvenience, I'm out. And it's like, are you for real? Is it, because now there's this whole thing of we can't do, you know the term begezela. And people are like, oh, we're not going to tell you to begezela, kind of a situation. And my thing is like, when did we lose the concept of the vow?
Yeah, but remember, you know, here's the thing now, and part of what we actually do as we're doing simulations. So I'm going to put
you need to focus.
I am focused is instant gratification. We're in a generation of instant gratification.
Oh, yes.
Where everything is all about now. And that becomes a real issue here. Because we're seeing the success, we're seeing the results, but no one is actually seeing the work.
Oh, yeah.
It's like those images where you see the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg above water, but beneath it, there's a huge iceberg underneath. You're not seeing the struggles. You're not seeing the rejection that took place. You're not seeing that build-up.
Yes.
You're just seeing the success. You know what I mean? And that's what we focus on. And forgetting that, hey, you gotta put in work, you gotta put in time.
Yeah, we're focusing on the result.
Yeah, and not putting in effort and time into doing what it is. And that's the issue with today.
You know, this topic is actually making me a little emotional. I didn't realize how deep it actually was up until we actually started speaking about it like to this extent. Because it is a real thing. We're not just, you know, we come in and people want to break generational curses. You know, all of these situations, yes, but
you know what I mean?
Instead we're not moving to that path. The other thing that I was saying though to my brother, because we all know what's happening with him, what I was saying, what I was saying to him though is that, the thing is, the mindset also changed for me in order for the whole compromise thing, because we know the in-laws thing was like a very big thing. So the mindset for me definitely changed in me going, I'm not my past. I'm definitely a little fumbly on who I am right now. I haven't grasped who I am. So what am I going to do as Zinati? Can I work towards the woman I would like to become? Do you get where I'm coming from? Instead of me going, oh, hey, I want the house, and of which, yes, that's what we want. We want the material things. But what type of person do you want to be as a character?
But then that goes back to what's the vision? What's the goal?
That's the thing.
I think if you understand your vision, your goal, at the end of the day, you have direction. And in your direction, you can then ask the right questions to say, is what I'm compromising still taking us in the right direction?
Yes.
Or is this going to hinder where we're trying to get to?
Thank you.
At the end of the day. And I think it's just a question. Do we have a vision? In our vision, what is it that I want? Do I want
and
to
is the
build?
struggle that I'm experiencing now, what am I doing towards that vision? And like the compromising, am I compromising, like what the choosing of the battles? Maybe compromise is not so much.
It's just
the word.
choosing your battles, understanding in this, or compromising towards this will help me get to that vision.
Or the person you want to become, guys. Like people are thinking about these things in theory.
It's the work.
But we're not practicing being the nice person. We're all posting these memes of, when love stops being served at the table.
So then I'm gonna ask you this: how would you wrap this up then?
Okay, how I would wrap this up is definitely from what my spiritual mom said, choose your battles.
Okay.
When it comes to compromise, guys, please, choose your battles. We cannot be boxing every single thing. It's gonna drive you crazy. Then you're just gonna look petty. Definitely remember your vision.
Mm-hmm.
And remember the person you want to become.
I'd say follow the process too.
Okay.
The process is very important because that's where you learn certain things.
Oh yeah.
And but it would go hand in hand with, what did you say? Pick your battles.
Yes.
Because you'll know, this one, let me not, fight this one. This one is worth it. This one I'll speak up.
Yeah.
This one, it's okay. Kind of a thing. But yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, in all honesty, to my fellow sisters, please remember we're here to build. Do you get where I'm coming from? Not break. We're definitely here to build our brothers, well, not our brothers, our husbands. And funny enough, as much as the world is telling us not to be the big exhilarating things, we're here to build families as well.
And I'll say this as closing from my end. Gents, seeing that you went for the ladies.
Yeah, I did.
Gents, speak up. I think we don't speak enough. We just usually shut down and go,
That's
whatever.
true.
You know what I mean? And you guys like communication. You want to hear what's happening in our minds. And Tina's like, just leave the situation.
Keep it going.
You know what I mean? But speak up. Our women aren't mind readers at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
And for them to understand the compromise, you gotta lay out what it is that you want and how it makes you feel at the end of the day. And I think that's where a lot of the compromise will come in if we actually spoke up and said, hey, I actually want 1, 2, 3. And
I agree.
yeah,
I agree. High five.
that's me.
Wow. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We hope it didn't go too deep. It actually did get a little emotional for me, but please catch us next week again. And remember to
Like, follow, comment, subscribe, share, Yonkinto. And yeah, this episode was brought to you by Utami Simulations. I just want to put it out there. Catch us at Farmers Market every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, Moederfontein. And yeah, it's an amazing game, by the way. But other than that, street.
Thanks, guys. Bye. We'll see you.